For Franciscan Beat, I'm Edyta Wolk. In today's news, the Franciscan University student government passes 4 bills. Students lead riots in France. Trump administration announces new travel ban. And White House holds out hope for GOP health bill. All this and more on today's Franciscan Beat. Four bills were passed and one was vetoed at Franciscan University student government's formal meeting on Wednesday, September 20th. The Finance Committee met and unanimously approved Fall Bills numbers 16 through 19 before unanimously rejecting Fall Bill number 20. This administration's effort for continued transparency was obvious, writes the Franciscan Troubadour, as each new piece of legislation brought healthy discussion before the body voted on the matter. Student government will next meet September 27th at 11 a.m. in the St. Leo Room. Travelers from 8 countries will face restrictions on entry to the U.S., ranging from a total ban to more targeted restrictions, under a new proclamation signed by President Donald Trump Sunday. The new rules, which will impact the citizens of Chad, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen, will go into effect on October 18th. The White House says it believes a Senate health care bill that appears headed for defeat is, quote, still good legislation. Spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders says the White House is, quote, fully committed to improving the health care system and that the Senate bill would do that. With no Democratic support expected, 3 no votes from Republicans would appear to doom the bill. Riot police are holding back a few dozen French students and activists protesting at the Sorbonne University, where President Emmanuel Macron is giving a speech about the future of Europe. Police with shields and batons outnumber the protesters in the historic Left Bank neighborhood, but the demonstration has been peaceful. Police vans line nearby streets. The protesters are expressing anger at Macron's pro-business labor policies and the way he introduced them via executive orders instead of lengthy parliament debate. Saudi Arabia has threatened other countries over a proposed resolution at the UN's leading human rights body that would send international independent investigators into war-torn Yemen. A Saudi letter obtained by the Associated Press shows the kingdom has warned that adoption of the proposal by Canada and the Netherlands at the Human Rights Council could, quote, negatively affect their trade and diplomatic ties with the rich, influential kingdom. Comic book publisher Stan Lee has been writing about superheroes for his entire career, and now he's hoping to be one himself for some of the victims of Hurricane Irma. The co-creator of Spider-Man, Iron Man, Daredevil, and tons of other Marvel comic characters is coming to MegaCon Tampa Bay this weekend, and he's working with organizers to raise money for storm victims. Lee is auctioning off a one-on-one meal as well as artwork from his personal collection during his panel on Friday. Between the auction ticket sales, MegaCon Tampa Bay and fans should donate an estimated $20,000 for hurricane relief. Today in sports, federal prosecutors have announced charges of fraud and corruption in college basketball, including against 4 coaches. The coaches work at Oklahoma State, Auburn University, Arizona, and the University of Southern California. They were among 10 people charged in New York City federal court. The details will be discussed at a news conference on Tuesday afternoon. A Pittsburgh area volunteer fire chief is apologizing after using a racial slur to describe Steelers coach Mike Tomlin for instructing his team to stay in a stadium tunnel instead of standing on the field for the national anthem ahead of Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears. KDKA-TV reports Muse, Pennsylvania Fire Chief Paul Smith wrote on Facebook that he had added Tomlin to a list of no good people he described using the N-word, adding, "Yes, I said it," to the post. Smith now says he's embarrassed and wants to apologize. For today's weather, I'd suggest relocating to a colder climate. It's going to be hot out there today, with highs of 88 degrees in the late afternoon, featuring sunny skies and 45% humidity. With the onset of evening, things will cool down to a moderate 75 degrees. Tomorrow, we're looking at a stifling high of 85 degrees, a partially cloudy skyline, and a 20% chance of precipitation. For Franciscan Beat, I'm Edyta Wolk.